everyone, my name is Kalthoff and welcome to a Stamping to Share video. Today I'm going to share a card with you called the Wiper card, and it's a card that I'm actually doing in Sunshine Club. I typically don't share my Sunshine Club cards with a larger audience, but this month this card was so darn cute I just had to share it with everybody. So here it is, and it uses this little piggy stamp set. And it says this little piggy, and then when you open it like this, you get this cute little piggy that pops out of the top. And of course he can close up, and then on the other side it says thanks. So it's super, super cute. And so I'm going to share with you how you can recreate this card. And it's really nice too because it fits in just a standard size Stampin' Up envelope. And so let's go ahead and get started. And as I mentioned, we're using this little piggy stamp set, and we're going to use some paper from Whole Lot of Lovely. This is a designer series paper from Stampin' Up that just recently debuted, and I'll just flip through it really fast so you can kind of see what some of these pages look like. We've got some really pretty colors, a lot of powder pink being used in here, and the back is what I love the most. And these stripe patterns are what I wanted to use on this card. So we are going to start with, for a wiper card, you're going to need 2 panels that are the same size and scored the same way. And so this is powder pink, one of our new in colors, and it is 4 1/4 by 6 3/4. And then I've scored both panels at 1 inch and then again at 1 3/4 inches. And so let me go ahead and we'll go ahead using a bone folder. We'll just make these score lines nice and scored with our bone folder. So let me go ahead and do that to both of these panels. Again, we're just folding along the score lines that I previously put in just before I went on camera. So here it is. And so we have 2 panels that look like this. Now the next thing we want to do is we want to do a little stamping on our wiper piece. And so the wiper piece that we're going to be attaching to one of these panels is 1 3/4 inches by 3 3/4 inches. And I'm going to use one of the little piggies. And I'd like to mask out the words. So I'm just going to take a piece of Scotch tape and just cover up these words. Let me just go ahead and do that. The camera's a little bit in the way, so I'm just trying to make sure I have it covered up well. And that's all I did. So I just have this Scotch tape is 1/2 inch wide, and it works perfectly to cover up these words. Then the ink that I am using is our archival basic black ink from Stampin' Up, and I'm just going to flip this over, ink that stamp up, and then I'm going to take off this mask. All right, so let me get that out of the way. Then we can flip this over, and I'm going to make sure that my little flower is up at the very top corner, and when I stamp it down, I'll have a perfectly stamped little piggy. All right, so now what? Another thing that we want to do is we want to take a piece of powder pink, and this is just a piece of scrap, and what I did is I went ahead and I stamped the 3 little piggies onto this scrap paper. And so then what you want to do is just take your Stampin' Up paper snips, and you want to cut out each of these little piggies. Now one of these piggies you won't have to cut out the whole piggy, so you can just cut out about this much. And then the other 2 we will need the full piggy, because what we're going to do is once we've stamped this where we want it, and let me go ahead and show you here, we're going to take a couple more pieces of Whisper White scrap paper. I have 2 of them. Both of them are 4-inch square. And we are going to do a little more stamping. So I'm going to stamp this little piggy right here. And then we have another little one here for the well, actually it's the back panel. It says thanks. And then our little piggy that we're going to put with those words is going to go right here. just like so. And then what we want to do is take these two panels and run them through the Big Shot machine. So we are going to do that right now. And the framelits that I'm using are the Circles framelits from Stampin' Up. And so we are not going to be using the scallop framelits today, but we will use the straight edge circles, and we're going to use the two largest ones available to us. And so let me show you what that looks like. So I have my magnetic platform, then I have my cut plate, and then the very largest circle I used on this little piggy here, where it says thanks. In fact, let me show you. This is the one I had stamped in advance to show you how to do it. And when you cut out your scrap, you're going to just glue that right over the top. And then when you cut it out, it cuts out the whole works, so it looks like this. And then you'll do the same thing with this little one over here. And you can see he's already cut out perfectly and ready to go. And so that is the next size down in our two largest circles. All right, so let's go ahead and continue on with making this card. So this little guy here needs a little bit of coloring. We're going to take the powder pink marker and we're just going to color in the tail like so. And then we're going to take the crushed curry and color the flower just like so. And the last thing we're going to do is take some lemon lime twist and color the leaf of that flower. All right, so now the next thing we want to do is put this little cutout right here. So to do that, I'm just going to take some multi-purpose liquid glue and just very lightly go all over so that we can stick this down. All right, so we'll just put it right here. And the thing that's really nice here about the multi-purpose liquid glue is I can just wiggle that into place absolutely perfectly. So there it is, and it looks super cute. Just love it. Make sure we've got it just perfect. Now I can take my powder pink marker again, and I can accentuate the little nose and then put a little bit of accent in the ears and on the hooves. And so we can go ahead and do that with this little piggy here too. So we're just going to accentuate the ears and the snout, and of course the hooves. There we go. And one more right there and right there. Okay, so we're ready for action. So let's go ahead and see what our next step is here. So I went ahead and I made up a sample for my club members so that they would know exactly how to attach the little piggy. So to set this up, I'm going to set my paper that I've cut and scored exactly like my sample is. So I have my score lines on the right, and then I'm going to take the little piggy that I was working with, and I'm just going to fold down this right corner here. Well, actually it's the left corner. So I'm going to press that in, and I'm going to grab my bone folder, and we'll just give that a nice press. And then I'm going to take some glue, and we're just going to put some glue on this little fold. Now you might be thinking, oh my goodness, that's the smallest amount of space here to put a little pop-up, and it's true. And that's why we're using the multi-purpose liquid glue, because once that's down, it actually really bonds well with the paper. So now we're just going to set this in. I don't know, I suppose it's about not quite a ½ inch down from the top, but pretty close. And we're setting it in so that the left side is even with our score line here. So I'll hold it up to the camera so you can see that. So if we fold it over, you can see that it's right there in the score line. Okay, and now we just need to take this and put it out of the way, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to start gluing these together. So the first thing that we can do is glue the left side here. So we take our other one that we have scored and folded, and we're just going to grab some glue and put that right here. And then we can set this in just like so. I'm just going to hold this up so I make sure all my edges are nice and even. And we're getting close to where our card is coming together here. Then we'll fold this in and we'll glue this side. So all I did is I took this piece here and just folded it in. Now I'm going to glue this side. And don't worry about whether or not it's straight over here. That doesn't matter, just as long as you had it straight going the other way when you set it up. So now we're going to put this one over here, give that a good press, and let that sit for a second. And then let's just make sure that our wiper card is working. So we're going to pull it apart, and there's the piggy. He's working great. So that's all there is to making a wiper card. It's actually quite easy. So now let's go ahead and put the rest of the card together. We have our whole lot of lovely designer series paper here, 4 by 4 3/4 inches. And I'm just going to again take some multi-purpose liquid glue and glue this right onto the front of our wiper card. And give this a second to set into place. And then we're going to add some pretty accents with washi tape. So I have our Pick a Pattern washi tape right here. So we're going to just take this and we're going to set it along this edge right like so. This just adds such a nice accent to this card. So let me grab the scissors, and then we'll go ahead and trim this even on this side. Then we're going to flip it over and do the same thing on the back side. So let me grab this again. We're going to put this washi tape down right here. Let me grab the scissors, trim this even on the left, and then we'll trim it even over here. And now we just have to add our little piggies that we have all ready to go. So let me grab those. The smaller one we're going to be putting on the front, and I'll add some dimensionals to him. And so really 3 dimensionals is all you need for this because it's circular. So 3 works out really well. Flip him around, and we're just going to set this in, well, I suppose about right here. Super cute. So there's the front of our card. Isn't that adorable? Now for the back side, we're just going to take our snail and that larger circle that says thanks, that's just going to go right back here, right smack dab in the middle. Super cute. So here he is, this little piggy. When you flip it over, says thanks. So I hope you've enjoyed this. Here's the card I've just made, and here's the card that I started with. If you're interested in Sunshine Club, be sure to let me know. I'm at www.stampingtoshare.com, or you can find me on my Facebook page by the same name. And just be sure to message me and I'll give you some more information. Have a great day, and be sure to stop by again soon. Bye-bye.